Okay. Hi. I wanted to make a video about Christmas because I know that for some people Christmas isn't very fun. I guess you could say I'm not Christmas isn't a great time for me. I don't like it. I feel like it's I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know why, but probably since I was about 11. Sorry, that was disgusting. Since I was about 11, I have just sort of not liked Christmas more and more as the years have gone on. And I think 2014, that Christmas, a lot of stuff happened and a lot of horrible things happened at the end of that year. And so last year it was hard not to think about those things, seeing as it was like the landmark of when those things took place. And I know that if you have like any sort of mental illness, in general, it can just be miserable because you can't turn off an illness to be happy for one day, and you can't turn off an illness for one day, and that affects other people. So other people might be saying, "Why are you so miserable?" Or, "Come on, it's Christmas, cheer up," and why don't you come and sit with everybody else? But you, I mean, there's like it's just hard. It's hard to turn on. It's hard to turn off an illness. It's hard to just get in the mindset that today you're going to be happy and do it some other day if you're not, if you're, be ill some other day, not Christmas Day. It's really hard. It's hard to do that, and I feel like I have felt so isolated at Christmas in the past, like so isolated. Like there's absolutely no point even pretending that I'm happy. And the fact that it's Christmas made it worse because I felt guilt about it. Like I felt guilty for not being happy at Christmas, like on Christmas Day or around the Christmas period, and I was doing anything to try to distract myself, but it didn't work, and I didn't want to eat, and I didn't want to pretend to be happy, and I feel like just for the people that have somebody that maybe the sounds similar or struggles with some sort of illness at Christmas, try not to put pressure on them to be happy. Like just try to treat Christmas like a normal day. Like if you know that you're gonna struggle at Christmas, just try to treat it like a normal day, and don't and you're not a bad person because you're struggling with an illness like you do every single day. You're not a bad person for that. It's just how it works. And maybe don't think about it until the day, because honestly, the more pressure that you put on yourself to be okay at Christmas, the harder it will be, and that's way easier for me to say than it is to do, because it just is. Like it Christmas is forced in our faces. Christmas is this thing that, and this is obviously only applies to people who celebrate Christmas. Or like, if you don't celebrate Christmas, then you probably don't need to see this. But if you just, like, for me, something that sort of comforted me was that if I treat Christmas like a normal day, the rest of the year there are days where I have had a brilliant time and I've loved every second of it. And no, maybe I didn't receive gifts and it's not a public holiday, but honestly, it like those days are amazing, and those days replace a lot of my Christmases. Like going out with friends, or just those days where you just feel so positive and so overwhelmed with love and things. Like you don't need Christmas for that. You can be that person every day. Like just because you don't feel 100%, it doesn't mean that you never will. Like you have to give yourself a break. You really do. And if you need to take 5 minutes on Christmas Day away from other people because it's overwhelming, just do it. Just do it, and please don't beat yourself up about it. And if you know someone in your family is having a good time, well, take something from that. Even if you're spending it with your friends and they're having a good time, that's a nice thing too. Like, I think just in general, not being harsh on people who just can't. Like, at the end of the day, you can't turn it off. I can't. If I'm gonna be depressed on Christmas Day, that's how I'm gonna be. I know that's awful, but it sounds awful, but it's not. It's just part of what I have to go through sometimes. And I am not depression, but I know that there are days where I have to live with it for a bit. I've been anxious about Christmas and the run up to it since I can remember. Like, just being worried, and for the past 10 years, like, absolute panic about, oh my god, it's Christmas, and I get worried, like, and it starts really early. It starts basically when the shops start putting all these Christmas decorations in October, and it bothers me. I feel like I don't know what you would call it, but the sort of materialism around Christmas has always bothered me. Like, I'm quite I get worried about having too much stuff, and that's always bothered me. Where am I going to put this, and what if I don't like this, and this sort of pressure that I feel to just buy and receive these gifts, and sometimes I don't need them or like them, and being worried about offending people, and I don't know, it's just all a bit too much. And I've had times where I've been in family situations where I've just felt like I just want to leave, and then I feel guilty about that. I feel anxious, and I don't want to socialize or talk to people. I just want to be on my own, and people are like, what's wrong with you? And it's like, well, I just don't feel great. And so you're not alone if you feel like that, and whatever illness you have, you're not alone. And honestly, you're not a bad person either. Like, don't guilt yourself over it. It's fine. It's fine. You will be okay. But I'm not trying to put a downer on Christmas. I hope you have a fabulous Christmas. Okay, so see you later in my next video, whatever that may be. And goodbye.